Why is it hard to escape poverty, and why do some people have better luck in life? Could it be the diet, the circumstances, or it's just fate? If you are new to Mr. Vin TV, welcome. It will be nice of you to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell notification icon to get all future updates of the interesting topics that I'll be covering. Today we are going to be examining poverty and what perpetuates it in a society. Your new job pays you just enough to disqualify you from the benefits program and not enough to cover the same costs. To make things worse, you have to pay for transport to work, house rent, buy groceries and childcare. And while you are at the office, somehow you have less money now than when you were unemployed. Economists call this demoralizing situation the welfare trap, one of the many different poverty traps affecting millions of people around the world. Poverty traps are economic and environmental circumstances that reinforce themselves, perpetuating poverty for generations. Some poverty traps are tied to an individual's circumstances. For example, a lack of access to healthy food or education. A society where the literacy levels are high, there are bound to be innovation taking place, but there are other factors that can affect entire nations, such as cycles of corrupt government or climate change. Corruption in particular keeps its people yoked to systems that don't bear any fruit. Money that's meant to stimulate the economy and raise the standards of living ends up in the hands of a few people, leaving many in abject poverty. The cruel irony of welfare traps in particular is that they stem from the very policies designed to battle poverty. Most societies throughout history employed some strategies to help people in poverty meet basic needs. Like in the 20th century, religious groups and private charities often led such initiatives. In African societies, the community thrived from functioning as a unit. Today, these are called welfare programs, and they usually take the form of government-provided subsidies, for example, food. Like in America, they have food stamps. Other subsidies are in the energy and healthcare sectors. Typically, these programs are for people who fall below a certain income level. These policies are designed to ensure aid goes to those who need it most. This also means people lose access as soon as they earn more than the qualification threshold, regardless of whether or not they are financially stable enough to stay there. This vicious cycle is harmful to both those in poverty and those outside of it. Mainstream economic models assume people are rational creatures who weigh the cost and benefits of their options and choose the most beneficial path forward. People work for many reasons, including societal norms and personal values. If those in poverty know they'll gain no net benefit from working, they are more likely to remain in government assistance. When pursuing employment, the level of income is a key factor. And when less people take on new jobs, the economy slows down, thus keeping people in poverty and potentially pushing more people over the edge. Some economists have suggested this feedback loop could be removed by eliminating government assistance programs altogether. So how can benefits be handed out in a way that doesn't penalize people for working? Many countries have tried different ways to circumvent this problem. Some policies allow people to continue receiving benefits for a given period of time after finding a job, while others phase out benefits gradually as income increases, and in other countries, the citizens receive a cut of the profits made from national treasures, like in the case of Venezuela. Other governments provide benefits like education, childcare, or medical care equally across all their citizens. These policies still remove some financial incentive to work, but the risk of a welfare trap is much lower. One proposed solution is universal basic income, which will provide a fixed benefit to all members of society, regardless of someone's wealth or employment status. This is the only known policy that could entirely remove welfare traps, since any earned wages will supplement the benefit rather than replace it. By creating a stable income threshold below which no one can fall, basic income might prevent people from falling into poverty. Numerous economists and thinkers have championed this idea since the 18th century. For now, universal basic income remains largely a theory. Although it's been tried in some places on a limited scale, these experiments don't tell us much about how the policy would play out across an entire nation. And given the way machines have taken over some jobs, it might end up becoming a necessity. Whatever strategy governments pursue, solving the poverty question requires respecting people's autonomy. Only empowering people to create long-term change in their lives and communities can we begin to break the cycle of poverty. I have been your host, Mr. Vin. Thank you for watching till the end. Subscribe if you haven't done so. There is plenty of content on here. Till we meet next time, avoid the poverty trap.